Station, where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Desde Brooklyn hasta el sol del Medio Oriente, José Flores con fuego en la mente. Raised in the Bronx where dreams don't sleep, donde el hambre te enseña a resistir. Section 8 life, no handouts, no cheat. He built his power from the pain on the street.
Cada golpe, cada lágrima caída fue el fuego que encendió su vida. Ahora camina con propósito y gozo. José Flores, hear the noise. En la calle el combate, turn his trials into faith. Con disciplina y con fe, now he rises every day. From the black to the world sin temor.
You ever need a haircut?
So that these kids can learn how to play instruments
or want to, not just learn, but want to. But I think that is a major shift.
Iraq to Korea, he led from the front. Now he lifts others, never just stunts. Hoy es mentor, líder, amigo.
¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Hey, welcome to the Motivated Mindset. I am your host, Jose Antonio Flores. Proud Latino, born in New York City, straight out of the Bronx, raised in Brooklyn. That New York flavor, that hustle, how you doing? That art, that grit, that it shaped me, it built me, and still drives todo lo que yo hago, everything I do. But before we get rolling, I want to send a powerful salute to all my veterans, service members, family members, first responders que están escuchando, they're listening. Mucho respeto, much respect. You already know, in this new chapter of my life, I wear a few different hats other than the school one. I'm a combat veteran who probably served 30 years on active duty in the United States Army. I'm a motivational speaker, a certified personal trainer, a certified mediator, don't you fight, and an end-of-life death doula. But behind every title is one mission, mi gente, to serve people, because I know what struggle feels like. I know the pain, what it feels like, and I know what it means to fight your way toward purpose every day. My mission, mi misión, is simple: to inspire, to uplift, to challenge, to remind people that no matter where you come from, you hear me? Catch that A train. No matter what life throws at you, you can redefine your life through faith, discipline, resilience, and relentless drive. That's why this podcast exists. The Motivated Mindset is where we talk about resilience, we talk about culture, we talk about healing, we talk about leadership, we talk about discipline, optimism, and the courage it takes to keep moving forward when life hits muy duro. We keep it real here in New York real, right? Straight talk. And one last thing before we start, if you vibe, right, as we say, if you vibe with what you hear in this conversation, if it inspires you, if you appreciate the interviews, the energy, yay, and the message, all I ask for you is support my YouTube channel, support all our links, like hit that like, that subscribe, you like, and share with someone who could use a little motivation. Use that phone, scan it, because your support helps me to continue to bring you powerful guests, meaningful conversation, and purpose-driven content straight to you. All right, family, let's get this started. Let's do what we're gonna do. Let's talk about today's guest. First of all, our guest is someone who truly embodies leadership, purpose, right? Excellence and service. Joining us today is Lani Shaw, an ICF-certified executive coach, attorney, leadership consultant, and career strategist, helping professionals across the country position themselves to promotion while also building sustainable system to prevent burnout. And let me tell you, in today's world where everybody is grinding, exhausted, and overwhelmed, and trying to figure out their next move professionally, this conversation is right on time. Lani brings over 20 years of federal government experience to the table, and it's also a graduate of an agency executive leadership program, where she focused on leadership development, self-awareness, and strategic thinking. She's known for helping professionals elevate their confidence, strengthen their leadership presence, navigate career growth, and create healthier ways to succeed without losing themselves in the process. But what makes her stand out is this: she doesn't just teach leadership. Mi gente, she lives it. She's a graduate of the Hampton University and Howard University School of Law, a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. the Society Incorporated, the National Bar Association, the American Bar Association, and the International Coaching Federation. She also serves as a director for the Alfred Street Baptist Church Foundation, helping provide scholarships to deserving students, which speaks volumes about her commitment to service, empowerment, and giving back to the community. And one thing I absolutely love about her message is this: to whom much is given, much is required. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful. You know, she's also known for encouraging people to give themselves grace without lowering their standards. Man, that right there is a whole world. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people today are trying to succeed while silently battling burnout, you know, pressure, self-doubt, and exhaustion. So, mi gente, today we're going to talk about leadership. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about career growth. We're going to talk about mindset, burnout, purpose. You hear me? Confidence. How you doing? Thank you very much. And how to level up professionally without losing yourself personally, right? Family, get ready. This is going to be powerful conversation. Again, I want to welcome you to the Motivated Mindset with today's incredible guest. And let's kick this off. I'm about to show you. Let's do what we do best here. All right.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Welcome, Lani. Thank you for being on my show, on our podcast. How are you?
I am great, and it is such an honor to be here with you. I've been waiting for this all year. You know that. Come on now. I'm excited about our conversation.
Today is the day. It's an honor to have you here. It takes some time. Good things have to wait. We have to wait for those good things, I guess, right? You know,
that is right.
You know, so you know what we talk about before you worked for the government, had all these titles. Who is Miss Shaw? Who are you? Where you from?
Oh my goodness, I'm a Southern Belle from South Carolina. That is who I am, and grew up, born and raised in South Carolina, Greenville, and navigated my way to Hampton for college. Enjoyed that experience. Decided to come a little bit further north up to DC. And something about living in DC and going to law school in DC, I just said, I'm staying here. This is home. So I've lived in the DC area for 20 plus years now, practicing for the government. I just hit 21 years of service.
Congratulations.
I care deeply about the mission of my agency, which is protecting banking for, you know, those who are involved with banks. And I just enjoy helping people and just make sure that people are able to meet their goals.
That is stupendous. So growing up, what values did you get that helped you become the woman you are today while you were growing?
It's always been a focus on family. My mother came from a huge family of 21 children, and we are all close, you know, to my aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews, cousins. It's just always having that sense of folks around you, people that you know that you can trust. And so, you know, family can be blood family, but it can also be people that, you know, you develop these relationships and these friendships with over time. And so I'm deeply connected to people. And that is a value that I've taken from, you know, my childhood, even into what I do with my work today.
That's awesome. And with that being said, was there a defining moment where you were growing that said, you know what, I want to help people? Well, how did that transform or transit, professional and personally, that you wanted to help people?
You know, probably was just growing up in the church and being so close to my family as well. I don't know if I always knew that I wanted to be an attorney. I think, you know, growing up watching the Cosby Show, a lot of little Black girls were saying, hey, I want to be an attorney like Felicia Rashad. And I too said that. Didn't know if that would make its way into what my path would be. But the interesting thing is that my sister and I are both attorneys. We were in law school at the same time.
Wow.
And, you know, we both help people. She helps people in a different way through her cases, and I help with mine. So, you know, it's just wonderful to have that connection with her, even though we're not in the same city now.
Wow. So we have a comment from Tammy from Maryland, said, thank you for your public service.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Wasn't I think last week National Public Service Recognition Week? So
that's right. That's right. It was, you know. And while you was growing up, did you have any mentors, anybody that really was there for you other than the church? Was there any?
You know what? A lot of teachers. A lot of teachers that nourished me, developed me in different ways, had me in different programs to, facilitate my love of reading, my love of books, my love of writing that really motivated me to dream, to think big about what it is I wanted to do. A lot of my teachers that I was close to actually were members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which I am now a member of, and have an opportunity to do additional service work through that organization. So it comes full circle at some point for you.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And we have a question from Yvette said, what inspired you to become an executive coach after 2 decades in the federal service?
That is a really good question. I'm so thankful that you asked that, because what I wanted to talk about is the fact that at some point in my career, I felt stuck, not sure how to navigate the next step, what it is I wanted to do. I've always enjoyed the work that I do with my agency, but didn't know what the next level of success looked like. And so my agency offered me a coach, and I started working with that coach, navigated my way into figuring out different steps of what could be possible for my career. Took part in my agency's leadership program, graduated from that, quickly got promoted into different positions. And at some point I said, I don't know if I knew coaching was something that I would be interested in, but I thought it would be a great way to give back. So I decided to go through the coach certification training myself. I had already done training, development, leadership conversations. This just seemed like the natural progression for me. And so all that happened in the span of last year in terms of becoming a coach, becoming certified as a coach, getting my first clients as a coach, coaching internally at my agency, coaching with folks that reached out to me on social media that were, involved in different steps of their career. One of the first projects that I engaged in was an effort to assist federal government workers and consultants that had been displaced in 2025 after all the changes in the government. So that was deeply rewarding to me, because what I found is that a lot of federal government workers don't update their resume often. And so I went through the process of helping them update their resume, preparing them for interview prep, getting them prepared to re-enter the workforce and to think logistically and holistically about their skill set and what they had to offer.
Wow. No, that's awesome. We have a question from Jackie in DC and said, what do you wish more people understood about reinventing themselves with intention?
You know what? I think I would hope that people realize the strategy involved in it, that you can just take a few steps, a few tweaks to what you're already doing. If you're, let's say you're already posting on social media, start to post more about your career. Post what it is that you're trying to pivot into. Involve the folks that are around you, because you just never know what can come from having organic conversations with people that already know who you are and what it is you offer. So just be strategic about those conversations.
No, that's really good. Which brings me to so what's the biggest mindset shift professionals need before they can truly elevate their careers?
It really is believing in yourself. I work with a lot of professionals who look great on paper, but they lack confidence. And if you just take a few steps to tweak your confidence, to really believe in yourself, like a client that I was working with last night, I said, every day I want you to write down 5 great things about yourself. And I want you to write it every day, because you need to, in real time, realize how great it is that you are as an attorney, how great it is that you work with other people, that what you have to offer, so that when you start to go into your interviews, that this is going to sound like second nature to you, because you're already pumping yourself up.
When you mentioned that about confidence, I thought about imposter syndrome, how we doubt ourselves, right?
We do. We second guess ourselves. We doubt ourselves all the time.
Yeah. And that's always many times, like, for example, when I worked at HUD, every time I had to go speak before people, it's like, am I really that good? It's that little voice behind you, in your head. And I'm like, wait a minute, Jose, this ain't your first time, at the rodeo. And I almost have to build myself up. It's what the heck am I doing? Yeah, I can do this.
But when you did it, it would be fine, wouldn't it? It would be much better than you even expected. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And when we talk about leadership, confidence, and let's say visibility, why do you believe visibility and advocacy matter just as much as hard work in today's workplace?
It really is about visibility and advocacy, because hard work is great. But hard work alone will not get you promoted. Hard work will not help you to navigate your career into whatever next phase you want it to be. But if you are able to increase your visibility, to talk about the things that you're doing, the impact that you bring every day on the job, that will start to make a difference to people. And it will help you get promoted. And a lot of times people are so shy, so nervous about, bragging on themselves. But if you just start to let people know that, hey, this is the value that I bring, this is the impact, they start to see you differently. And it makes a difference. And the second thing I will say about the advocacy piece, if you want something or if you need something, but you never told anybody, well, what good is wanting that? You've got to be able to advocate for yourself. You got to be able to navigate difficult conversations and to tell people, yes, I want to be promoted. Can you help me with that? Yes, I want to move into this detail of this rotation position. Let's talk a strategy about how I can get there. Those conversations should be used in your favor as opposed to used against you.
Absolutely. We have another comment actually from Carmen from New York City, and I can relate to say my abuelos. You know what abuelos are? Like my grandparents.
Your grandparent, yeah.
Right. And she said my abuelos always telling us to work hard. What identity shifts are necessary for someone who wants to move from hard worker to recognized leader? And I think you hit some of those points.
It is about being strategic about the assignments that you take on. And, a lot of times women will turn into, oh, I'm the office party planner, or I'm the office, let me plan the Christmas fellowship. No, there's nothing wrong with planning that. But there are different projects that you could take on that you could take that same energy, that same time, and build yourself up strategically and increase your visibility. And people will see you as this leader because you're leading more difficult projects. So think about what you're saying yes to, and don't say yes to everything. Say yes to the things that will actually develop and continue your career. Yeah.
One of the things I wrote down, comfort zone. A lot of people get, well, I love my job, and you and I know sometimes in order to get promoted, get ready, you need to get out of that comfort zone, and a lot of people just stay where they're at and just put their head down. But, like for me, it's like a learned behavior, like Carmen from New York, I got to work hard. Meanwhile, I'm seeing my peers move up and I'm like, what? Yeah. So.
And you're just as qualified as they are. And that can be frustrating.
Wow. So when you, for example, when you coach professional through interviews, confidence and leadership presence, what's one shift that can change how people show up immediately?
Immediately would be making sure that as you're thinking about your career, that you're tracking your wins, that you're really able to talk about that and articulate it, and not just say, oh, I did X, Y, Z, but talk about why that made a difference and why that brought value to the team. If you're leading individuals, talk about that leadership skill, whether it's, collaboration, whether it's, team building, whatever it is, have a story developed around that so that people can see the impact and how it all comes together for you.
No, that makes perfect sense. We have a question from Manuel in DC, and he said, what are the most common blind spots you see in professionals who are ready for a promotion but can't articulate their value?
Well, the blind spot is that they're not preparing themselves for it. And, they're thinking that they're not ready because there's this lack of preparation. But if you were to work with the coach, or if you were to, have a monthly sit down where you're saying, this is what I did this month, that will help you to show up better during an interview. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I don't see that I'm meeting 80% of the qualifications for this job. And they'll actually talk themselves out of applying. Wow. But I would say, go ahead and apply and think about what it is that you can do that would be required under that job description. And those other areas that you don't meet 100% on the head, that's the room for you to grow. You don't want to show up on day one knowing 100% of a job. 70 to 80% would be that safe space. But I think that's a blind spot where people trick themselves into thinking that they have to either be 100% ready or 100% qualified for whatever's next. And you don't absolutely need that.
Wow, no, those are really good points, and I think having that good, let's say, rapport communication with your first line, even your second line, getting that, so I can talk about, when I was in the military and the job I had, getting constructive feedback as you go through and being able to sit down, hey, do some self-reflection also. They really help, I'm assuming,
it does help. And people often don't take feedback well, but take it for what it's worth and figure out, where you can grow from it.
So, for example, like when we talk about executive, like how does an executive presence actually mean, what it means in today's workplace? What does that look like?
Executive presence. It really means having the confidence that we're talking about. It means being a great communicator. It means being strategic in your thinking. It means having vision for your organization. And that's how you show up. And those are all strategic competencies, but they're also muscles that you can flex, muscles that you can actually grow. And the more that you do in terms of your decision making, how you're communicating, taking on these different projects, leading different efforts, that's how you get that executive presence.
Yeah. Because we do have a lot of introverts, or quiet professionals, and how do they stand out based just what you said, right?
You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable too.
Yes.
So if you're operating inside this comfort zone and it's fearful to get outside of it, take one small step to get outside of it and see how that feels and reflect on it.
Well, no, which answers the question that I had about, what advice would you give to, let's say, somebody who feels overlooked, underpaid, or underestimated at work, right?
Yes, that is the question. And if you're feeling underestimated, you have to think, is there something that can be repaired here, or is it time for a move?
No, absolutely. We're going to take a 1 minute commercial break. And when we come back, I want to maybe talk about burnout, balance, and mental wellness, so let's watch this real quick Stretch Zone commercial. Here we go. Today's episode is being sponsored by Stretch Zone, Centerville, Virginia, and Health Source Chiropractors in Manassas, Virginia. At Stretch Point, they specialize in practitioner-assisted stretching designed to improve flexibility, mobility, posture, and overall performance. Their services are ideal for individuals looking to prevent injury, enhance recovery, and maintain an active lifestyle. And at Health Source Chiropractors of Manassas, Virginia, they provide patient-centered chiropractic and rehabilitative care focused on pain, relief, mobility restoration, and long-term functional wellness. Their approach integrates chiropractic adjustments, corrective exercise, and supportive therapies tailored for each patient. Thank you. All right, welcome back. Hey, I gotta. We all need to stretch more often.
Yes.
Which leads us into what we're going to talk about, different kind of wellness. But one of the things you've built a platform while working full time. What have you learned about balancing ambition, burnout, and sustainability?
Well, it is very important that if you have a goal, that you pursue your goal. But I believe balance is important. And I think that often it's important to check in with yourself to make sure that you're still prioritizing things that are important to you, like rest, self-care, that, you are taking steps to minimize or prevent burnout. Because those type of things can creep up on you, especially if you're taking on, additional tasks, additional responsibilities, perhaps someone that's pursuing a different degree or, taking on a certification or building a business. And so last year was a challenging year in terms of building my business while still being full-time employed. But I took the time to make sure that I was not overextending myself. And so that's how the balance came in, and making sure that I prioritized those things that were still important.
No, absolutely. Especially in this hustle culture, as we call it, right? I mean, everybody's moving around.
Everybody's hustling, everybody's moving.
Yes. And finding that woosah. I don't know, finding, wait a minute, let's take a break, let's focus on us, And, how can ambitious people protect their peace while still pursuing those big goals? Some of those things you mentioned, how we would go with that?
Well, protecting your peace is paramount.
Yes.
And it really is, trying not to take on too much at once, and being strategic about what it is you can actually achieve in the amount of time that you have. And if you get close to a goal, but you don't actually meet that goal, it's okay to reevaluate. It is okay to extend the timeline for it. And so you can continuously or continue to be ambitious, but make tweaks along the way to fit how you're actually showing up in life.
Wow. So how do you personally reset when life or work becomes overwhelming?
I'm a runner.
Ooh,
and so
okay.
I run 4 times a week, perhaps. I do yoga. There are some times on the weekend where I'm like, okay, I said I was going to do X, Y, Z, but it's a better use of my time to rest. And I will just, make the shift in my schedule as needed. That doesn't mean that I'm a slacker. It just means that there are certain days, certain instances where I've decided that it's okay to give myself grace.
That's absolutely. I used to run. Now I do my Peloton, so I can relate to that. And lifting weights, especially as we get older, we need that resistance training. But it helps me vent whatever stress I'm going through.
Absolutely.
So and when we talk about we keep hearing about a difficult job market. What are you seeing firsthand from professionals right now?
It's taking a little bit longer for professionals to get hired. That's unfortunate, but it's really an effect of there not being as many positions available. There have been multiple layoffs from industry. Government restructuring has caused some, joblessness as well. And then in addition to that, the folks that are employed are holding on to their positions a little bit tighter, right? I mean, that's called job hugging. Where in past years, they may have started looking at a certain point. They see how tight the job market might be, and that's causing a little extra friction. And then, of course, we have AI taking on additional roles.
Yes.
And so it has just been an interesting time for professionals to navigate. And so I'm seeing some of that frustration with a few of my clients where, they would normally have a position within a month of looking. Sometimes it's taking 2 months, 3 months, a little bit longer. And so you just have to really stay encouraged, shift your mindset to make sure that you're maintaining a positive mindset. Take care of yourself during that time, because it's not for the faint of heart searching for a job right now.
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Are we still in a hiring freeze? Our government, is that still going on?
Well, the government has opened some positions.
Okay.
So we are seeing some hiring, which is great, and some promotions. So there is some movement. Yes. Okay. Agency by agency.
Gotcha. With that being said, like what industries or skills do you think are becoming more valuable right now?
I think to the extent that you can learn as much as you can learn about AI, I think across industries that will make a difference. AI, is able to function, but it still needs people that are a part of the process. So to the extent that you can get a certification in that, that's helpful. Anybody that's people oriented, customer service oriented, that makes a difference. How you deal with people, how you relate to people. Project management skills are very important right now. Folks that are getting green belt certifications so that they can be more efficient in processes. Those are the type of, certifications and skill sets that I'm seeing showing up on resumes that's actually making a difference.
Wow. And that makes me think of networking, right? How important is networking,
Networking is important, but you can't just wait to network when you need a job. You got to keep your network. What I say is you got to keep your network warm.
Right.
A lot of people are nervous about that. Even some of my clients are nervous about it because they think that they're bothering people. But it doesn't hurt to just send a quick email, check in with perhaps a mentor from college, someone, a previous colleague. Let them know how you're doing constantly, every couple of months. It doesn't have to be too much. Invite folks to coffee. A virtual coffee will work. There are ways to network for extroverts and introverts.
Yvette said, preach from another one. And and we have another question, says, anonymous, says, you mentioned that people don't update their resumes, quote unquote. I'm guilty of it. Do you help people with that?
I do help people with the resume. And, USA Jobs has a 2-page resume requirement now as well. So I've been doing, helping a lot of government professionals as well that are working to have that, to meet that 2-page requirement. So they're cutting their resume down where it might have been 5 or 6 pages before, because that is the new OPM requirement.
Wow.
So I work with folks across the industry, though. It just doesn't have to be government.
Yeah, because I remember when I first joined, you can put 5 or 7 pages, whatever it was, especially for those of us that serves, because we've done so much stuff.
You've done so much, so many contributions.
So how do we capture all that? And so when we talk about, personal growth, with the motivation mindset, when self-doubt, because it creeps in, how do you silence that inner critic, I guess?
Well, first of all, you got to notice it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to kind of monitor your thoughts that way. And whenever it creeps in, you've got to say something that's going to counteract that. You've got evidence where you've shown up and things have been great. You have evidence where you've delivered a great speech or you've delivered a great presentation. So you've got to tell your self-doubt, hey, go away, take a hike.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it happens in the moment. It really is moment by moment, you making a decision to think of something positive as opposed to letting that doubt creep in.
Right. No, you're absolutely correct. So if you have any advice, what's one thing, for example, that professional can do maybe this week that would immediately improve their career trajectory?
You know what? It really would be if you've not dusted off your resume in a while. Go ahead and spend some time on it. Spend some time updating it. Start to see, where you might need to add additional information, where you might need to take away, tweak it a little bit. And if you've not been a person that's been diligent about networking, jot down a list of 3 folks that you want to reach out to in the next week. Absolutely.
And some of the things we're going to go, especially how people can get in contact with you and what your services have to offer. All this is going to be put in a nutshell. So, we're going to show some of the things, how people can reach out to you and the services you offer on some of the things that we've covered. So I'm about to go to that. Here we go.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go. It's all you, ma'am.
So it starts with my website. My website is coachingwithlani.com. And as an executive coach, I focus on career and leadership coaching. Coaching really is about coaching the whole person. So however you're showing up in life, whatever your goals are, if you told me, hey, Lani, my goal is to lose 20 pounds, that's what we would work on, putting a plan together for that. If your goal is to get promoted, we work on a plan for that. Whatever it is, however you're showing up, that is what I want to partner with you on. And for me, my signature program has really been about helping professionals to get promoted. And so through the coaching program, we increase your clarity. We think about your transferable skill sets. We think about, how you're going to navigate if it's time for a pivot. We're thinking about how you show up in a confident manner, how you prepare for your interview, how you make sure that your materials are updated from your resume to your LinkedIn profile. We can also do a look at what your digital presence is so that when folks go to look for you, that you show up in the way that you want to. And it really is about making sure that you have what you need to move to the next level. There's also this focus on preventing burnout, because I think it is very important as you grow and navigate your career and you're taking on additional responsibility, that you put proper systems in place to make sure that you are preventing burnout, that you're taking care of yourself and prioritizing your self-care and, of course, rest. And that is, for the most part, what coaching with me is about. You can go to the website. There is a mechanism for booking a coaching call. If you want to just talk to me for 30 minutes, that is a great way to get a feel for what coaching is. I find that a lot of professionals may not have been familiar with coaching, but we can work through that. And as you see from here, I am an ICF-certified executive career coach. I've been with my employer 21 years and navigating various positions, promotions, navigating personally being stuck, working with a coach personally as well. I graduated from my agency's executive leadership program, and I have the dynamic opportunity to speak to organizations, to work with different corporations on speakers, being a speaker, facilitating training and the like. And it's just been great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you covered some of this too.
I've covered some of that, but it really is about the clarity, the presence that you have, how you're showing up, and of course, positioning. You want to make sure that you are able to articulate your impact so opportunities come to you and that others can advocate for you as well. So that is sort of what we work through together. And there are ways to work with me. If you go to the website, you'll see more about the coaching options and also workshops and trainings for organizations that would like to bring me on as a speaker or to facilitate training.
And ladies and gentlemen, you see on the bottom, Coaching with Lani. There's the website, and you'll see
Yes.
other ways to get a hold of her. And one of the things I was asked, which is the best way if somebody wanted, is the website. Everything
The
is on there.
website is a good way to get in touch with me. You can also get in touch with me. Lots of professionals will either send me a message on LinkedIn and we can start the conversation there, or sending me a message on Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
It depends on what works for you. I'm happy to
Right.
to handle any of those. But my signature approach really is about bringing clarity, navigating through so that you can have the presence that you want, the visibility and the advocacy. And on a weekly basis, I'm sharing tips and strategies for you to level up with clarity and confidence on my YouTube channel. So I ask that you check that out as well. Level Up with Coach Lani.
I watch a few of them, and it was stupendous. I was like, "You go, girl. Let me get your autograph." No, but you were providing really good, ¿cómo se dice? Common sense stuff. That you make difficult subject into something that's layman's terms. I was like, wow, I should have become a lawyer. But it was good. I've watched it, ladies and gentlemen. You need to check it out. It is I like it. I like it.
Wonderful.
Before we go to the next slide, we have a question. Somebody said, yes, Tammy in Maryland. But somebody, Tammy also said, I saw one of your career strategy videos. What message do you hope people will walk away after engaging with your work?
It really is knowing that you are capable. And if the next level is something that you desire, if you want a new position, if you want a promotion, there are ways to get you there. And so you've got to start by believing in yourself. And then if you're willing to do the work, an opportunity will come your way.
Wow. Let's see what the next slide is. There it goes.
There it is. So my strategy call. And
yes,
if you book a strategy call with me in 30 minutes, you'll walk away with clear direction and what your next step will be. We talk through where you are in your position in life, and we get through what's holding you back, and I will help navigate you to your next step. So all in 30 minutes.
And we had a question from Jackie in DC. Say, do you meet in person or virtual?
It's all virtual for me.
Okay.
I just like to be accessible to my clients. So virtual tends to work.
And you talked about
I talked about that, but that is what will happen for the 30-minute strategy call, where we figure out your next best career move and figure out what's keeping you stuck so that you can move past it.
Cool beans.
Yes.
And you make it so user-friendly. I went on the website. Look at that.
Look at that. That's how you can submit your name, your email, and I will reach out to you. We can have that conversation that you want to have.
And it's a wonderful, beautiful website, ladies and gentlemen. You got to go on. I was like so impressed. I was like, wow, this is nice. And everything is laid out, user-friendly. I enjoyed just navigating through everything. It was really well. Same thing with the Instagram, the YouTube, and the LinkedIn. Very, very informative. So definitely check it out. And
that's my Instagram.
Yes. I enjoyed it. I was checking, I'm stalking her. I was like, oh man, this is good stuff. But bottom line up front, ladies and gentlemen, is that, it's about the whole person. It ain't just work. It's finding that balance.
It's finding that balance.
Amy, that makes sense?
Finding that balance. And if you say something's important to you, you spend the time making sure that you can achieve it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, on YouTube.
There's the YouTube. Yes. Level Up with Coach Lani.
Go check it out.
You to subscribe and to check out some of the videos.
Yes, it is so good. I enjoyed it. a lot. And then, of course, on LinkedIn.
Which is where I found Jose.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Yes, so there are updates on LinkedIn as well. Please connect with me there. Happy to have you on any medium, including Threads, which I don't think I listed, but happy to connect with you wherever you find me.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is so user-friendly. Regardless of which platform you go to, it's going to connect you to her all the way. And it's amazing. So technology. And again, you see the website. Absolutely. And of course,
there you go. There, download the QR code for either LinkedIn, YouTube. Just take a picture of all of them. And also at the end, which we didn't talk about, but there is a free career guide. That is my career reset guide. And it is a quiz and some tips for you to figure out whether you're ready for your next step. And it's just a couple of pages, a couple of tips from me. It pairs nicely with a couple of the YouTube videos. And so it's a nice free downloadable resource.
Yes, absolutely. And Lani, as we get ready to close out, is there any anything we didn't cover? Any last words, for some professional, some leader out there that needs to hear what you need to say?
It really would be that I encourage you to bet on yourself. If there's anybody that can achieve what it is you want to achieve, why can't it be you? And so I would encourage you to just take the necessary steps to do whatever it is that is on your to-do list. Bite them off into nice, small action steps so that you don't get overwhelmed, but definitely put together that plan to get it done. And if coaching is something that would work for you in terms of partnering with a professional, feel free to reach out, and I would love to figure out a way that we could connect and work together on whatever it is your goals are.
Oh, thank you, Lani. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been great. Well, first of all, great having you on here. It's been stupendous. A lot of great information. And ladies and gentlemen, you gotta reach out. You gotta take time for yourself. Like Ms. Shaw said, take care of you first. Then everything else will take care of itself, and when we talked about working hard, no, you got to do a little bit more than just working hard in the trenches, right?
Yeah, you got to do it.
You got to get out there, I'm gonna see any last questions. No, I don't see any. There may be maybe some more. I want to talk about real quick who our next guest is real quick before I let you go. And it's Jamal Lake. He is the executive director of Kids Read, a national nonprofit expanding literacy access for children, for underserved communities, a Princeton-educated technologist and social impact leader. He blends community mentorship and innovation to tackle America's literary crisis. I got to work on that. But yeah, please join us. And that'll be June 6th, same time, same back channel, same back, where we always show up, But I want to say thank you for being here. We have a question. We have Yvette says, thank you. That was very helpful. This is my first time here. That was from Tammy from DC, so you're getting a lot of kudos. A lot of people are really liking this. Is good.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So yeah, this is Gracia. Oh, we got some bilingual up in here. Hey, you're welcome. Right. She gets it. That's all good.
I love that.
So just make sure that we have ways for you as a professional to excel. Please use them. Please reach out to Ms. Shaw. Any questions? I'll put this up one more time. Please take a look at that. Use your phone. Make sure you use the QR code for LinkedIn, for YouTube, for Instagram, and check out that free guide. It is free, for real. I thought maybe they're going to throw something up, but it is free, ladies and gentlemen. And there is the website, right? So make sure you reach out. Any questions, and Ms. Shaw will answer them and give you what you need. So, and it will be good. Ma'am, I want to say thank you for being here. Otra vez, gracias por todo. And we will see you around. We will see you around. We'll be good. I'll see you running one day out there. So, it's all good.
Absolutely.
Have a good night and enjoy it. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.